RSL Nation. This is a little different this time. Hello, I'm like in a
Where
box.
where am I? Where am I?
Hey, hey,
Alan, where are you?
guys, we are via Zoom this time because
hmm
of a lot of things that happen out of our hands.
It's okay. Life happens. Life happens. So I'm here. You're there. How are you, my friend?
We are here.
We are here.
um, I'm doing all right. Actually, no, I'm not doing all right. If you can't tell from my voice, it sounds like I didn't recover from the
You,
last episode.
you sound a little on the congested side.
I'm not congested. Not here. It's all here. Like
Oof.
I lost
Oof.
my voice. And I think it's because when we got back from Miami, I think I'm just throwing out conclusions now. I think there was pollution when we got back.
There was when we were flying in. I think it was like from Vegas to here. You saw like that huge smog or fog, whatever you want to call it.
You saw it. I was in the middle row.
Oh, you had a
Or
middle
the
seat.
middle. I had a middle seat. Yes.
I had a
So
whole row to myself. I told you to come over. I was like, come sit by me, come sit by me. You're like, no, I
yeah, no.
I I got a row by myself watching Seinfeld. So,
Man, that was the longest trip of my life. And I've
but
taken some long
but
trips.
hey, my friend, but was it worth it?
Absolutely. I mean, let's
Yeah,
talk a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit. Let's
yeah.
talk a little bit about it, just because we're gonna give everyone the overall summary of the trip. Because in fact, I feel like some people were like kidding with us when they're like, "Hey, are you guys back yet?" I'm like, Flip. I know we took the long way around, but man, we took the long way around.
Hey, I had a lot of people come up to me today. They're like, yeah, you guys are crazy for doing that. I would have never done that myself. But like, hey, anything to see Messi, anything.
Yes, because we are um Argentines per se, and
Uh
we love
huh.
Messi. We
Oh
do
yeah,
anything to go see him. Now,
yeah.
I need to ask you because I know what my answer is because well,
hmm
I'm me.
Okay.
Was it hard for you to cheer for RSL and Messi at the same time?
Well,
Don't
Like
worry about the listeners.
no. Like I mentioned in the previous episode when Messi had that free kick and Glad headed off the line, I secretly wanted Messi to score that, obviously, because I want.
Shame.
No. I want. It's iconic. I want to see Messi score a free kick goal because we've seen so many of those happen for club and country, and that would just be like icing on the cake.
We didn't see a Messi goal, but we did see a Messi assist.
We did see a Messi assist. We saw like it was a Suarez Messi buildup.
Yes, anytime Messi was just dribbling, I was how do you call it? Fangirling, fanboying, whatever you want to call it. I
Yeah,
was getting
yeah,
really excited.
absolutely, as you should be.
Now, I wasn't too happy. I'll admit this. I wasn't too happy when he chipped Brody. That
Yeah.
for me, that was like a low blow. I was like, bro, the guy's laying on the ground.
Well, I guess it's because the ref didn't call the play dead, so he's just like, I'm gonna just keep playing. But
Don't get me started with the refs, but get me started in a little bit. We'll get started.
but
But I
yeah,
mean, the
overall
here's
fun experience, fun time in Miami. We went to the beach. Beach was fun.
yes, that was the first time in a very long time that
That was
I
my first time actually to the Atlantic Ocean.
mine too.
Yeah, so not gonna lie, seeing those cargo ships, I was like, dang, those are some big ships.
Now, you probably don't remember in Washington there were cargo ships too, but you were really little when we went.
Yeah, like I was like what 5 when we moved here to Utah.
Less. Yeah, something like that. Um, the last part of the trip that I didn't like was our stop in Vegas.
Oh yeah. So in case you guys are wondering, we landed in Vegas like 12:30 in the morning and then didn't leave out of Vegas until like 7:30 or 7:45.
Yeah, and so we had to
So
sleep in
and
Vegas.
in case you guys are wondering, the Vegas airport, one of the worst. One of the worst.
One of the worst.
Okay. Actually, the worst airport that we went to was easily the Miami airport.
Miami?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought Atlanta was pretty. No, Denver was pretty blah.
Oh no, do you want my top 5 rankings really quick?
We only went to four.
No, we went to 5 airports, didn't we?
Salt
Salt
Lake.
Lake, Denver, Atlanta, Miami, Vegas.
Oh, we did.
We did, we went to 5 states in like 3 days
It's true.
and 3 time zones.
Oh my gosh. We really, now that you put it that way, we really did that.
5 states, 3 time zones. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, so real quick, my rankings of the airports we went to: Salt Lake, Atlanta, Denver, Vegas, Miami.
Hmm.
Yeah, Miami, not impressed. Not impressed at all.
Yeah. I think we're pretty spoiled here in Salt Lake, to be honest.
Oh yeah, with having an airport that was literally built just a couple of years ago and just having all brand new stuff. But I will say, Utah, you could do better. Like that walk, terrible, terrible.
From Terminal A to B, that was the worst. Well, here's the thing though. They now created the lazy sidewalk
Oh yeah,
right when we
that
got back.
I call it the lazy Susan.
No, lazy sidewalk, I said.
Oh, lazy sidewalk. Yeah, yeah.
Dude, where'd you get lazy Susan from?
Oh no, lazy Susan's the thing that rolls, spins around on the tables, right?
I've never heard of that.
But anywho, fun
Fun
time in
time. I wouldn't do it again though. Sorry.
not with
That,
me,
that,
not with me, right?
no, with you or without you, I wouldn't do that ever again because that was a long, long trip. But anyways, let's get into this past weekend. Um,
For sure,
'Cause
for
I'm
sure.
not I'm not even gonna ask you how you are because I saw you today.
We did see each other literally like 3 hours ago.
Hence why we're here. um, let's dive into Saturday. Last Saturday. So
For sure. We
RSL
got the
goes from Miami to St. Louis.
I was gonna say we got the opportunity before we get into all this. We went to Kaye, and might I say that was your first time going to Kaye, and what did you think of that?
That I, First off, there's a lot more people than I thought there was gonna be. To be honest,
Really?
I'm not bashing on anyone. I just didn't think there was gonna be that many because
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, for me, hence why I haven't been ever. I like to watch
Uh-huh.
it from my couch.
No, for sure. I I, I agree. Like it's good to have you can actually be able to watch it, no distractions or whatever.
Let me tell you, I was pretty distracted. So it doesn't mean I won't ever go back, but definitely I have a preference.
Yeah, yeah. It was a good atmosphere. People chanting, people cheering at Kaye. We got some street soccer off to the side. People playing over there, so it was fun.
I thought you were gonna say streak soccer. That'd have been
Stre-
interesting.
yes. Oh, that would be that'd be a new fun Olympic sport.
Ew, that'd be a weird sport. They only play that on nudist beaches.
So
Anyways,
yeah, so second game of the season in St. Louis, and if you remember, obviously last time we played in St. Louis, we won. So it was kind of a little time for go at it again against St. Louis. So a kind of similar lineup that we had against Miami in the first game, but a few changes. We bring in Bodie Hidalgo on the right side. Um, and then the other changes we have Anelli move into the defensive mid. So everything else was the exact same.
so we only took out one player, which was Palacio.
Correct, correct.
Um, and I guess I want to get your opinion on that. When you saw this lineup, what were your initial thoughts? Because when I saw it, I was like, "Mm,"
I
but
was expecting oh,
I have my thoughts.
yeah, I was very hesitant at first. I was like, I was like, this is 2 games in a row with no Oviedo starting. Why Hidalgo? Kind of curious. I would have rather have seen the same kind of thing with the 3 defensive mids with Pablo Ruiz up top and then Palacio and Ojeda right there in the back.
Not gonna lie, I don't like that triangle.
Really?
It's not a useful triangle.
Well, for what we have to use in the time being, obviously Crooks coming in. We'll get to it later. Crooks coming in later into the game. It's what you got to use because who else do we have to fill in for that attacking mid spot?
Well, I guess the question then I throw out to you is who else do we have to fill in for the right back spot? Or would
Well,
you move Brody over to the right and put Oviedo on the left?
that's ideal. I would want to see Oviedo on the left because that's kind of where he is comfortable. That's where he was playing in the remainder of last season, going into the playoffs. And Anelli on that right. Anelli has that speed, that agility, and unfortunately, it just got breaking news I guess last week. Bonilla out for the season with this injury. So we were talking about it last episode a little bit. outside backs. Who's gonna play? Who's in? Who's not? Now we're down. Another outside back.
Yeah, yeah, it's horrible. But you did mention Tree. Tree was available for this
Mhm.
game, which
Yeah.
was a huge win for all of us. We're like,
Oh yeah.
finally, finally he's available.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. So
who wasn't available is Catranis
yeah. So
still.
Kataranis unfortunately still in Greece, still
Up,
trying to.
up until the last update that we got. I don't know
Yeah.
today.
So unfortunately, they must be very slow on paperwork over there in Greece.
I mean, it looks like it, but they are working on his visa to get over
Come
here to
on,
work.
get it going.
I was trying to think of some kind of Greek phrase that I might know, but I don't know any Greek phrases. Anyways, so the lineup they we had, it was all right for you. You still have some kind of eh.
Yeah, like I'm excited for. I mentioned it several times. I'm excited for once Kataranis is in because then that's just more reinforcement in the outside backs because right now we're kind of very depleted.
Yeah, yeah. When I saw this lineup, I'm not gonna lie. This lineup when I saw Eneli as a defensive mid,
Mhm.
call me a hater, all you want, all every one of you, call me a hater. I did not trust Eneli as a defensive mid. Doesn't matter if he played in college or not. I did not
And,
trust him.
and why is that?
I just have never seen him as a. Um, I think of in my mind, a defensive midfielder is someone who stops an attack
Mhm.
and then gets an attack started.
You don't think like with his speed he can be able to bolster that attack moving forward?
I've never really seen him as super fast either. That's my issue. So I've never seen him with great ball skills, and I've never seen him super fast. He's probably fast,
Yeah,
but I've never seen him
yeah,
super fast. So when I see him, when I've seen him in the defensive midfielder, at least last season. Granted, this season is a new season. Last season, it just never seemed to click when he was as a defensive midfielder. It just never did.
yeah,
So that's why I was a little worried when when I see him on the lineup as a defensive mid. I'm like, ah crap, because I think Palacio also didn't do like a wonderful job either against Miami, but
no,
I feel like I'd rather have Palacio. Now I'm talking about before the game.
yeah.
Let's get into the game, and
Let's
I will tell you when I change my mind.
Yeah, so first half, we just came out it was kind of a repeat of what we saw in the second half in the Miami game. We started right where we left off, and I kinda like that. We were just having tons of chances, and we were just kinda controlling that first half.
I'm gonna say we had control in the first half, no shots whatsoever, but
No shots.
we had wicked control.
Oh, yeah, like 230 passes to their 125. I was like, "Wow. Wow, this is." I thought we would kinda be flat, just playing nonchalant, just kinda losing control,
Our
but we were just
our first half passes outnumbered all their passes in the whole game.
mhm,
If that gives you any idea
yeah,
of the kind of possession we dominated first half 60-40 possession.
mhm,
But let's get into the nit gritty. What we saw on the field. What
yeah.
what was something that you liked and what was something that you didn't like from that first half?
Um, Something that I liked, obviously, like I just mentioned, was just starting off right where we left off from the Miami game, just having that control of the game, having that possession, and just dictating that right off the get-go. But what I didn't like was just not taking more shots because that's that's how we're gonna be able to get in the back of the net. Just don't be afraid because friggin' Bonilla, not Bonilla, Barajas in the preseason wasn't afraid to be taking those shots. So why not now?
Yeah, that in fact that's what it was. The only thing lacking for me was
Mhm.
the actual
Yeah.
shots. Um, I'm not sure about the connection part because um, we had a lot of possession, but what's my favorite stat? Do you remember what my favorite stat is?
Is it
Where do the passes
Oh,
lie?
that's right, the map. Show him
So
the map.
the passes, the majority of our passes were in our defensive half. So
We
that
we're
kind of
just
tells you where our possession was.
we were just very much hunkered down, kind of If nothing was going right, back to McMath.
That was frustrating. I mean, granted, I understand resetting. Let's reset the ball.
Well, that's how it's been for not just this season, but seasons in the past. If nothing's working right, let's just shoot it back to McMath or whomever.
Yeah. And you can't even blame Pablo for that. That's just been how
No,
we've
it,
even Kyle Beckerman would pass it back to Raimondo.
no, it's a thing in the whole MLS. Like in games that we were watching this past weekend, I saw that nothing's working. Let's shoot it right back. Let's recycle.
I'm not a huge fan of that. You
No,
don't see
not at all.
the Barca of old
Oh yeah,
doing that.
you don't see that very often in the EPL. Nothing.
No. You see it in the EPL. We just watch a lot of the top teams.
Oh yeah,
You don't see it in the top teams.
Man City is not doing that.
No, because it's Pep. Pep does not like to pass it all the way back.
No,
So so the possession was fine. I understand that, and I think that's one of the changes that Pablo
yeah.
has been wanting was to get a little bit more possession to make it more how do I want to say this? Make the attack more gathered per se instead of just shooting it down the line, cross it, down the line, cross, down the line, cross. This
Which
one's a build.
Which in 2 games in, I've noticed that it's kind of, I guess, a change in RSL because you alluded to that a lot last season where that's what RSL would do. Go down the sides, cross it in, but RSL is kind of a little different this season where we're kinda working in the middle, getting those passes flowing, and then seeing what happens from the middle or even on the sides.
I'm like the airplane traffic controller guy.
It's like we've been in an airport for too long or something.
It's like weird. Those guys are doing Pablo strategy last year. Weird.
Yeah, yeah.
um,
But in the first half, what kind of made me happy, it was 35th minute, Tim Parker got hurt and got taken out. I was like, "Ooh."
okay. Let's maybe we're not happy that he got hurt, but we're glad he left the game. Because he's a super influential. You're right.
Yeah,
Like
you there we go. I'll reword that. Thank you very much.
you're like, we want to kill him.
No, but he's their strongest defense for them, so
Yeah.
seeing him get taken out in the 35th minute, I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh, th
I
this
totally forgot about that.
that is key," because we were watching that and at Cayenne, I was like, "This is good. This is good. This opens the door for Chicho."
Here's Marcos at Kaye. Yes. Or more like, yes. You weirdo. But yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. Parker is a strong point. I totally forgot about that. And that I
I
think
got you.
that was really key
Yeah.
to what
Yep.
happened in the second half. So halftime we go in um 0-0. Were you surprised that it was 0-0, or did you after seeing the stats it's expected?
Ish, honestly. Like, obviously, like we mentioned, we weren't really getting any shots. We had a couple offside, um, very, very dumb, but no real chances. So as expected, just a
Speaking of
nil-nil.
speaking of offside, how many times were we offside in that first half?
2 in the first half, 4 in the second half.
Oh,
Which
bro.
don't get me started on that because I should have had a count, like a tracker. How many of those were Chicho? I want to say at least. I
I'm
think
gonna
I at
say
least.
all of them.
You think all of them were Chicho?
If not, maybe Gomez was one of them. But I think Chicho might have been at least four.
Yeah, that was just good on the back line of St. Louis to play so high or just be so together because Chicho's just gotta, I guess, be better at just reading that line of when to run.
Well, and then yeah, I guess I have to backtrack on what I said about possession because it looked like we were looking for the over the top ball too.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I'm kind of confused in what our strategy is. If it's a strategy, like for instance, if St. Louis plays a high line, are we looking to dump it over the top? Or if we see a team that's playing back, are we playing possession ball? What are we doing? Kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. So we don't see our first sub of this game until 63rd minute when we see the debut of Tree, Matt Crooks. And did that surprise you that Pablo Ruiz was coming out? Because obviously Pablo Ruiz is playing that position of Matt Crooks. Because what I would have wanted to see was maybe a Gomez come out and then maybe Pablo drops back to his original role of defensive mid,
Um, but then
or maybe
who plays the wings?
or I take that back. Hidalgo comes out and then you do like a whole change back.
That one. That's the
Yeah,
one that we discussed at Calle. I was like, it
yeah,
makes the most sense. Take Hidalgo out, move Anelli back there, move Pablo back to defensive mid, and put Tree as the attacking mid.
yeah. So seeing Pablo Ruiz come out 2 games in a row in the Miami game and this, I was like, is he not going to play 90? Like, come on.
I want to say this is my opinion. I think they're controlling his minutes because of his recovery. I think playing 2 games in a week is a lot for him,
For sure.
and
Absolutely.
I think they did work pretty hard in the preseason, and so yeah, I'm gonna chalk it up to that they are controlling his minutes until he's 100%. Which who knows when that will be? I don't know. I've never had this kind of injury, so I don't know if one is ever 100%.
Yeah, it's something you probably don't want to rush into, but it just kind of caught me off guard. That's him like, hey, that's 2 games in a row that he's being taken off.
Yeah. But I did appreciate the fact that they put in Tree, even though we had heard that Tree was going to be getting some minutes, so it wasn't a surprise for us. But we knew that Tree was going to get some minutes, and that him coming in created another spark. So not only the beginning of the second half we had a little bit of spark, Tree coming in created a huge spark.
Yeah, something that I'll mention, I think Tree mentioned in his post game interview, that was his first time ever on the field with Luna, with Chicho, all the rest of the guys. So kind of caught me off guard because you're seeing him on the field, and it's like they've practiced together. It's like they know how each other works. But
Well, he mentioned in an interview today, and I think I'm paraphrasing or I'm interpreting it this way. He said something to the effect of, paraphrasing, that when you're my age, basically, you just want to play ball. You understand how people play ball, and so when
for
you
sure.
get together with good players, you just understand each other. And
Hmm.
so, um, Crooks just wants to play ball. And so when
Yeah,
and so when he got in, I think that's all he did. All he wanted to do is play ball. So
yeah.
I mean,
With
there's no science to it,
no,
basically.
no, with playing in Middlesbrough and other teams in England, like you don't care who it is as long as you're out there playing football. That's all that counts.
And I mentioned it before in other episodes, or I don't know, a couple episodes back, that and I think I was talking about Crooks too, that that in England they have so many players from so many nationalities, so many different styles of play
Hmm. Yeah,
that I don't think he's gonna have a hard time adjusting. He has to learn the strategy that Pablo wants to play, the formations and whatnot, but
yeah,
soccer is soccer, and if you play in a place that's so multicultural like England, then I think you're fine to adjust in most places, to be honest.
yeah. I don't think it's going to be any problem at all for him to adjust because he's going to fit right in. But a couple minutes later, after Crooks comes in and Pablo comes out, St. Louis does the same exact thing, but they do 3 substitutions, and one of those in particular that they took out was Klaus. So that kind of surprised me too.
Yeah, so Klaus, well let's kind of give a slight preview of St. Louis. St. Louis is coming off of playing also a midweek game against
Which they
Houston.
which they're playing, right now.
Oh yeah, well, too far away from the control at this point. I'll watch the second half. Um, but Klaus is super important for St. Louis. We all know this, but
Yeah,
I think because um he's also coming back from an injury that he had last season,
mhm.
and it seemed pretty major. And so I don't know if he's 100%.
I also wasn't sure if maybe it's because they're kind of, I guess, resting him, air quote, for tonight's game, Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah, that I was thinking the same thing because they also took off Lowen. They took off Thorson also was
Mhm.
a player that they like.
Yeah, so
So
a lot of attacking players for St. Louis came off and kind of left the door, I guess, wide open for RSL.
yes. So the our goal, what minute did it come in?
74th minute.
Perfect. So yeah. So the triple sub that you said, obviously 67th minute. So it's before our goal. I think
Yeah.
I think they dropped their level of attack, and
Mhm.
obviously we had to exploit it. And let's just talk about the combo play.
Oh yeah,
Let's talk about the combo play.
can we talk about that back heel from Luna? Like, oh my gosh. I went back and watched that replay today, and just like you see the back heel from Luna, and then just that pass from Matty Crooks to Chicho, just on a platter, on a platter,
I was thinking only one thing and one thing only. Oh yeah.
right?
It was a it
Well, I didn't
was
realize in the moment that it was a back heel from Luna, because I guess it was just going so fast. I was like, oh, pass, 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 goal.
that was fast. And so I think the pass that besides Luna's obviously was pretty impressive, which Luna always has a skill check. I mean, let's be
Yeah,
real here. But what impressed me the most was Crook's pass. It was a Messi-esque. I don't want to elevate the pass that much, but it was a he took a step with the left and hit it with the outside of his right. Like
yeah.
uh, no, I mean, at least the defenders didn't expect it.
I didn't expect somebody at 6'4" to. I guess I had the assumption that he was gonna be kind of clumsy because with him being 6'4", he wouldn't be able to dribble and have that nice touch. But boy, does he have a nice foot, a nice being able to thread that needle.
Um, I want to say this after the goal. I can't remember who put this caption out, and I'm really sorry. So I can't give you credit, but this is someone else's. I'm not going to take credit. But
Oh,
do you know which one I'm talking about?
I think I do. I'm trying. I'm
The
drawing a blank
the
too.
the, the one where Crooks is around everyone, and he says Gandalf returning to the Shire.
That one was top notch. That was top
I
notch.
I don't want to call him Tree anymore. I just want to call him Gandalf.
Gandalf.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call him Gandalf
what we need. We need a giant tifo in the
of
south
Gandalf
of Gandalf.
of Gandalf. Oh man.
No, but literally less than 5 minutes later, RSL does what RSL does best, not being able to transition back on defense, and Vera got out hustled there.
Yeah, that was really strange. In fact, even Chicho said in the post game, he's like, "This was like a once in a. It's like it wasn't gonna happen in this game, but sometimes the unexpected happens.
And and this was
This wasn't it
and this
wasn't
was
expected.
and this was 3 minutes prior to Lowen, who had that assist. He got taken off. So Lowen, a beautiful pass to um,
Can you
uh,
pronounce his name?
Samuel
We'll call him Zanya. Adeniran.
at Dinaran. So Lowen, a beautiful over the top pass to Dinaran, and then Vera just out hustled. He just couldn't get back, and he just had it like on a little swivel. He just like turned his shoulders, and he didn't know which way to turn.
He got turned around. Period. I mean, he got bodied, and then Vera couldn't recover after getting bodied. I mean,
Yeah,
which is super surprising. And kind of upsetting too. I can see why people get upset because Vera is
yeah,
so huge. Why? How? But things happen, right? I
yeah.
mean,
So literally right when Chicho scored that one, I was feeling confident. I was like, "Oh, we're gonna go away with 3 points," and then unfortunately tied it up. So and then comes I guess the garbage minutes. I guess you want to call it the cleanup time. We get three subs towards the end. Julio comes in, Barajas comes in, Oviedo finally comes in the 90 plus minute.
all right, lay on your complaint. Lay it on.
Like Pablo, like we need to use subs better. Like the game's tied. Use those subs in the 65th, the 75th minute, not the 86th minute of the game.
I mean, we don't know what Pablo was thinking, and I bet after game interviews they know what Pablo was thinking. But I'm just like you. I don't like late subs
No.
unless they're for a specific reason, which I can only
Uh,
think that these were for a specific reason.
Well, especially in this situation where you're having two games in just like 3 days, like let your guys rest. Like you still have another game the following week, so let your guys rest. Let take out Luna sooner, take out Gomez sooner. So
Yeah,
but I did like though bringing in Julio and Barajas. I've mentioned this before. Barajas just brings that youth, that energy that this squad needs, and he had tons of good chances.
yeah. In fact, from let's see, yeah, there's some good chances after the 90th minute. We had a Oviedo had a chance.
Hmm.
Julio had a chance. Chicho had a chance. It was just there were chances after the
Yeah.
90th. So I think if you put in the right guys at the right moment in the second half, you create that extra spark, an extra couple of minutes of cushion to
Yeah.
build. Because yeah, you're right. 86th minute, you can't do squat.
No, no. So
So I'm tired of talking this game. Let's talk about something else.
yeah, for sure. Let's
You're like um
So
let's talk about
I want to ask you. So
oh yeah.
week one of MLS is done. We had a lot of game. Everybody played minus Vancouver. Sorry, Vancouver. The lone Canadian team that did not play in week one. So I want to ask you, what game or games stood out to you?
Now don't read my notes, okay?
Because I have separate games for me that stood out.
Oh, different from the ones that we talked about?
Oh yes, yes.
Oh, you very sneaky.
I am. I am.
Ah.
You're
Well,
welcome for that.
um I enjoyed LAFC Seattle
Okay.
because as much as I hate to admit it, I like watching LAFC, not for the game, well, maybe for the game part, yes too, but
Yeah.
the atmosphere.
I was gonna say if it was for the players, we'll get more of that on Saturday.
Yes. But I definitely don't do it for the players.
No.
Definitely do it for the environment. And I've never
Yeah.
been, but on TV it looks great. But
From what I've heard from other people, the 32-52 is a hostile environment.
I love Hostel. um, but we're talking about a game that's between two top teams. They're second and
Yeah.
third last season in the West. So and they've done a couple of off-season what do we call it? Off-season transactions. For instance, LAFC brought back Atuesta.
Hmm.
That's huge for them
Yeah.
because he's still young and he has now experience from
Palmeiras.
Liga do Brazil uh, from
Palmeiras.
from Palmeiras.
Yeah.
So that's really scary. Also, Hugo Lloris. Um, Hugo Lloris is obviously one of the best goalkeepers in the world right now,
Uh-huh.
and he's obviously on the backside of his career. So having those two doesn't make the team,
Hmm.
but it definitely helped them a lot. I think it helped them a lot in the run of play. Lloris had a lot of key saves. Um, Seattle seemed a little stuck thanks to the penalty. They got one back,
Yeah.
but Seattle was disappointing. Seattle or LAFC is scary right now.
Yeah. Going to back to that Seattle, it seemed like when De La Vega came in, that was like their burst because they were kind of flat and dead. It was like
Now,
Jordan Morris wasn't doing squat for them. So it was like De La Vega to the rescue.
well, Seattle supposedly has a couple of key injuries. So, for instance, Stefan Fry is
Rus-
injured.
Rusnak.
Rusnak. I can't remember who else. But those key injuries. I mean, they're key. So that was a game I loved. Oh, but before we get into that, you had mentioned this stat about the amount of draws this
I
weekend.
did. I did. So 15 games played. Obviously ours on Wednesday and then the rest on Saturday and Sunday.
You counted Wednesdays?
Yeah.
Okay, just asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in total, I might have. Maybe it was 16. So I'll add one just in case question mark. So 16 games total, 7 draws total.
Move it back down to 15.
So 7 draws out of 15. That is quite a lot.
That's like literally almost half of the games ended in a draw.
Yeah.
So what does that tell us? Does it tell us anything?
Nobody can score goals.
Now, I mean, there were a couple of 1-1s, 2-2s, but there
Oh,
were a lot of two. I mean,
there was 2-0-0 on Sunday.
oh man, Sunday was the most boring day ever. Um, but the last game wasn't so boring, but we'll get to that. Also, Carlos Vela MIA for LAFC because, well, I don't know if he's negotiating with them or not. To be honest, I don't know. Nor do I care. Not my team. Not my team.
Oh,
Um, yeah, go ahead.
let me get into my games that stood out for me.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Because there were a few that kind of caught my eye. I'm like, what? So first for me was that Cincinnati Toronto game because obviously Cincinnati is coming off winning Supporters Shield, and I that one ended in a 0-0 draw, and it's their year kind of trying to bounce back with no Brandon Vasquez as he's killing it in Monterrey, and it's you have the replacement of Corey Baird filling in that role. So that one was kind of a little bit of a surprise for me.
Oh, and Corey Bear did start,
Yeah.
and he didn't do well.
No, no. So, and then game number 2 that kind of stood out to me was the Philly-Chicago game. Chicago, as we know, has been terrible throughout the several years, not making the playoffs. They have had the lead going into about the 90th minute, and then Daniel Gazdag has the game-tying goal. I'm like, "Come on, Chicago. Come on."
Chicago does what Chicago does.
Uh,
Um,
so
or those are the only two games.
yeah, there's probably others, but those were the main 2 that caught my eye that were just surprising.
I have one more before we get into the one I think we have in common.
Okay,
Um, I liked, liked the result for Portland, Colorado,
that's
and
right.
I
That's
only
right.
say Portland, Colorado, because of the amount of money that Colorado spent in the offseason to lose 4-1 in their first game.
Like, I have a friend who's from Portland. I go to school with him. I asked him today, I was like, "Is Portland actually really good? Are they on the return? Or is Colorado actually just suck?" And he's like, "Yeah, just Colorado sucks. They're just typical Colorado."
I mean, it's like what we always say. I gotta stop saying that. You can't just put individual stars on a
No,
bad team. You can't put lipstick on a pig and call it pretty. You can't.
no. Like
Um,
like
Mihalovic, um, what's his name?
Stefan.
Stefan. um, and then what's his outside back's name? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing blanks right now. And I mentioned it to you earlier today. That's the worst part ever. Um, oh yeah, Vines. Sam Vines.
Vines. Yeah.
Um,
What caught my eye in that game? What what's his face from RSL?
but,
Jasper did not start in that game at all.
no, nor should he, would he? I mean, Jasper was having a hard time breaking our top our 11.
Yeah, but
So
yeah, so Portland just went guns a-blazing 4-0 at halftime, and I was like, "Wowzers."
yeah, yeah. So that one surprised me. Now for the game in common, I'm, we talked about it. Maybe you didn't really care for it much. Well, maybe you did, but we're gonna talk about it anyways. The Galaxy Miami game, and we're
Well,
gonna talk.
any game that Messi's playing, that intrigues me, so
This is true. This is true. We love Messi. We love Messi that much, but we're not
I
going to
I
talk
w
about
I would've been that guy that was going, "Messi,
Messi.
Messi,
If Messi would have
Messi."
scored last Wednesday, we would have been doing that.
I would've done that. I would've done that.
Yeah. Um. Anyways, but we're not going to talk about the game portion of it. More, we're going to talk about what we shouldn't be talking about ever because they shouldn't ever be news. But the referees.
Yeah, like, oh, man, don't get me started. Don't get me started. That was just like, ugh.
Well, I'm gonna get you started. So the play that is on everyone's mind is the second yellow red card.
Supposed.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it was in the game. In the game report, it says second yellow, which is a red card.
Yeah, I've quote tweeted it. I've went back and rewatched the video several times, and no one can tell me that he does get the player. Like freaking Busquets has already fallen down.
Yeah. So there's a lot of topics I want to try to condense here because we've already gone on for so long about other things. But um, what what concerns me about replacement referees is the following. They have never been at this high of level at this speed and don't know how these players play, don't know how they manipulate, and so they just bite and fall for everything.
Yeah. Yeah. You alluded it to me earlier today. Like if you go back and watch that play of the second yellow card, you see Busquets literally going pointing at the referee asking for a card like this. And it's just so easy. Like these Barca players, these Miami players can just easily manipulate the referee to just any way they want.
Now it's not their fault. I mean,
No, no,
and
no,
and
no.
that's and that's my opinion. I think if a player knows how to do that to a referee, good on them.
Yeah.
That referee sucks.
Agreed. It's
Um,
it's just sad that's kind of the way it's kind of turning. So
yeah. So overall, this weekend, um, I know me and you didn't watch a lot of. We didn't watch every single MLS game because that's almost
you know,
impossible.
yeah, that'd be impossible. So a lot of them are at the same time.
But your overall feel after seeing it in person in Miami, after watching a couple games this weekend, RSL, the Miami game, and I think you watched a couple of others. Oh yeah, you watched
Uh,
the ones on Saturday, Sunday.
yeah.
Um, your feel about the replacement referees?
My grade, my grade overall,
Your feel or your grade, whatever. Just express yourself.
I'll give the refs like a C minus, maybe D plus. Is that being too generous?
Oh, I don't know. I only
Um,
squirmish because it's a bad grade.
just because, like, yes, there was some good moments where I'm like, okay, yeah, like he's calling it pretty fair. But then, like, you look at other games, like this Miami LA game, you look at our game against Miami. It's like, come on, don't be calling it one way. Just like, come on, keep it fair, keep it real.
Do you know what I haven't liked about the replacement referees so far is that they express themselves physically too
I was gonna say,
much.
when we were in Miami, it was in the Miami game. He was the calm down, the calm down symbol.
Oh man, I hate that. When I'm the assistant referee of a center
Hmm.
and they're like, calm down, calm down. I'm like, you know what? Just tell him off. Tell him to go play marbles in the freeway. I'm trying to keep it clean here.
We got kids listening to this.
Seriously.
This is
But
family friendly.
this is family friendly. So I'm like, go kick the curb, go play marbles in the freeway or something. But
Yeah,
it's like don't try to like be the oh calm down guys, calm down.
it
No,
doesn't work. It doesn't work.
these guys are professionals.
Yeah,
They are they're
like
meant
that.
to talk your
Like
ear
they'll
off.
listen to you when you do that.
Yeah, they're it's it's like trying to tell an angry woman who's hungry to calm down. You don't do that. And
No,
I
no,
and
no.
obviously I just totally stereotyped by the way. So yes, I just generalized.
You don't tell a Marcos.
Ooh, that's a good one. You don't tell Marcus to calm down when he's hungry, which happened a lot in Miami.
Oh yeah, I almost killed you a few times. So,
What?
but
I thought it was only because I snored.
yeah, that's true. But anywho, you brought up a good point about the replacement referees, and there was a lot of missed calls in different games. For one instance was the Nashville Red Bulls game.
Oh, explain that one.
Yes,
That was a weird one.
yeah. So Sean Davis is going in for a challenge where he looks like he's like literally roundhouse kicking the ball, but gets a player on the Red Bulls face and is shown a red card, which in my mind, that's a red card, right? Like a high kick to the face, not even getting the ball, and ref goes to VAR. It's just a yellow card.
Not gonna lie, did not see the replay. I saw the still shot. If you work everything off of still shots, then I would totally agree with you because I saw the still shot.
Yeah,
But it feels like inaction, and it was more like a graze, the shin grazed, kind of like the shoulder neck area. I'd be kind of like, that's dangerous play. I'll give you a yellow. But red is like if you like get a cleat like right to the face.
yeah, but yeah, watching that game live, I'm like, that's a red card. That's a red card. Literally, Sean Davis just roundhouse kicked that player and goes to VAR, yellow card. So, I gotta give a X on that one.
Huh. X for the VAR.
X on the VAR,
Oh,
exactly.
okay. Yeah. So my question is, are the replacement refs doing the job they need to do? Could they replace pro refs? And do some of them deserve this chance? Just like what Don Garber said after the Miami game, that these referees should be taking advantage of and seizing the moment to show off their how do you say it? Show off their craft.
Like, yes, I'm glad that they're getting this opportunity, this chance to improve, to get this opportunity to ref at a higher level, but I don't think that they're the refs that we need at this time because I would rather have refs that have that experience, that have done these high level games, not refs that have literally just gone from and doing like college games at like North Carolina or somewhere else.
Now, granted, the men's college games are fast. I
Oh
will
no,
give
yeah,
them. I'll give them that.
like for sure, for sure.
But
But
it there's a reason why these referees are either not in the pro pool, either have not been called up to do MLS games, or are not even like registered to do any of these kind of games. There's a
yeah,
reason. And so we have to remember, and we just talked negative about the refs. Now we're gonna go into the positive about the pros. There's a reason why they are the professionals. There's a reason why they've been doing this for a long time. You can disagree with me, but I can tell you, because I know a lot of them personally, I am inside that locker room. I am with the VAR. I hear the VAR. I do all these things. Um, they get a lot of these calls correct. Um, I think Dad sent us an image saying how many reviews per weekend, per match day, the referees have been averaging. So the pro referees have been
hmm
averaging 4 plays that need to be reviewed per game in a normal weekend. These replacement refs, 14 plays, which means that they're not getting it right the first time on the field.
yeah.
Some would
So
argue, some would argue, I prefer to have it right, but when we say I prefer to have it right, we're not giving the pro referees even a chance when they do get it right on the field. VAR reviews it and confirms,
mhm.
and they're like, "Oh, that's bull." Well, guess what? They're not
Yeah.
wrong. In fact, they got it right the first
No,
time.
like, yes, sometimes VAR does suck, but I would rather have these replacement refs get it right than getting it wrong without using VAR at all.
I'd love to have them get it right the first time. Period.
Yeah, like, yes, 100%, but
Well,
it's something we gotta go through in the time being until who knows if this ever does change.
uh, we want pro refs back. That's all we want.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's get into this weekend. This
We
weekend,
we got a home opener.
ah,
We're back at home. We're back at home.
hey, I'm home. Literally too. Anyways, um,
So, unfortunately, we gotta play LAFC, and as you know, we have not done great against LAFC.
ooh, we have made this. This is the opponent that we have the worst record against. I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
And some people might call them they are our daddy.
I'm not gonna go that far because
No?
I'm a fan. No one is my daddy. No, but they've had our number for a lot of times. But the last time we played them, we won. Last time we played them,
Oh,
overall,
last time, yep, that was a Chicho goal.
a Chicho goal, 1-0. But just what you were gonna allude to,
Last time they played here at home in 3-0 for LAFC, not Galaxy.
yes. So, um, they tend to have a lot of success at our place.
Yeah, yeah. So in the off season, they had 6 roster changes from the last time we played them at home. Obviously, one of them being Carlos Vela, like you alluded to. Apoku is one as well. Went to Montreal. I'll have to pull up the other ones. Let me
But
see.
who still is around
Is
is
obviously Wonga
Bowanga, and he
coming
scored
off,
2 last time, didn't he?
yeah, coming off winning the Golden Boot.
Yeah, that's uh
So
that's always dangerous. But he didn't score against Seattle, did he?
no, he did not. It was Timothy Tillman and
Tillman.
Bogus.
Yep, that's right. Tillman and Bogu. So
Yeah,
who knows? Maybe he's hungry.
yeah, yeah.
But
So I've been wanting to ask you this question all day, so I'll ask you
oh,
now.
I'm ready. I'm ready. You're like, I have a question to ask you, but I'm gonna
I I
save it.
I have a question for you, Alan. So this is game 3 for RSL on Saturday. So hypothetically, if RSL does lose to LAFC, do RSL fans need to push the panic button?
Oh, that's a really good question. But no. Um,
No, you don't think
no,
so? That will be 1 point in 3 games.
that's perfectly fine. The only reason why I say it's perfectly fine is because um yes, there has been hype for this season,
hmm
but the coaching staff has already come out. Jason Kreis has already come out and said, do not expect immediate success. Do not. Like it's not, hey, we're gonna see if this works out. This is like a no, don't expect us to win right now.
Yeah,
We're trying
makes
to
sense.
solidify what we're doing.
For sure, for sure.
I mean that's how I took it. So anytime like the St. Louis one, I would have loved a victory. If we
Yeah,
would have held on, that would have been oof, okay.
yeah,
But
definitely.
but the fact that we tied, it's a point on the road. Now, Miami, I'm a little disappointed. I wish we would have gotten a tie there. This game, I'm not gonna give my prediction yet, but is going to be very, very difficult.
No, absolutely. LAFC doesn't matter who's on the team. Very well coached, very good team. But I don't know. I kind of have to. I'm kind of a little bit in between that. I will be kind of a little bit panicking slash chill, just because I'm like, that's 1 point, 3 games. Like we could do better. So
I mean, so you're gonna be semi panicking. Okay. Um,
I'll be semi panicking, honestly.
I mean, but I don't think there's anything really to panic about. I mean, it's 3 games in, 1 point. Yes, I understand. But have we seen improvements? Have we seen any kind of positivity with the new adjustments for the
No,
season?
absolutely. Like definitely. We've seen a lot of improvements, and that's what I was gonna go into next with this game on Saturday. Do you see any big changes in the lineup?
Well, I'm, I'm trying to review their lineup. So, um, I don't see any changes in their lineup. They're gonna go with the same 11 that they went out with against Seattle, which
I'm trying to
which
pull up who they had.
is gonna be super scary.
Uh-huh. Because it
I'll go over it with you. So we have Joris in goal. Cool.
uh-huh.
Campos, who replaced Palacios. Palacios was a huge loss.
Yeah,
Campos, he got an assist last game,
he did.
so he that means he's versatile. Aaron Long is Aaron Long. Murillo is Murillo. Hollingshead is Hollingshead. So back four is solid.
Now this is where it gets dangerous.
So Atuesta, that's dangerous.
Uh-huh.
Ilya Sanchez, dangerous. Can be dangerous. If you can control him, um, I think you're in for a decent game. Tillman, dangerous on the wing.
Yeah.
Oliveira, dangerous. Bogus, dangerous. And we can't say enough about Boanga.
Yeah, so we see the lineup that LAFC has. What are you feeling like RSL is going to come out with? Similar to what we've seen in the past 2 games. Obviously, we have Crooks. Do you think he starts coming off the bench? Where are you feeling out there?
Well, let's look at the. We already went over the roster, but I'm gonna go over it again. So out of the back line, I think they're gonna move Anelli back to right back.
Do
I
you think
think
that
that Pablo's
I was
gonna
gonna say, do you think this is the game that Oviedo finally gets a start?
no,
No?
no. I don't think Oviedo's gonna start for quite a while. I don't know why. I just have this feeling. But this is the game that I think Tree is gonna start.
I agree. I agree. I agree with you.
He
Yeah.
has to start.
He has to. Literally after having an assist in your first debut. So,
And if on top of that, the first 10 minutes of your debut.
first 10
But
minutes, yeah.
but I don't think we're gonna change much, except for I think you put in Tree for Hidalgo, just like the change that we mentioned. You put Anelli back, Pablo back, Tree right in the attacking mid.
Yeah, that still sounds like
I,
that's a
I think
still a solid lineup.
I think that gives us the best chance, and we need size. We need size, especially against Long and Murillo. Murillo is a thick
Well,
wall,
I was gonna say, and Hollingshead.
and Hollingshead is tall. So we need size. We need goal scorers.
Yeah.
We don't need any more creation. Pablo creates, Luna creates, Gomez does what
Now
Gomez
we
does.
need finishers. Finishers on those set pieces.
Yes, we need finishers, and I think that's where Gandalf comes in and uses his magic.
I can you just imagine Vera, Glad, Crooks battling that for a corner kick? I'm like, oh,
Now, now get this. You ready for this? If Gandalf starts and Ruiz, you're not gonna get over it, are you? And Ruiz goes back to defensive mid. Ruiz is gonna take those corner kicks, and that's who we want as our set piece taker. I think he can put it on the dime for one of those three,
oh yeah,
or four, include Chicho in there.
oh yeah. Like Not worried at all. Like, it gets me excited. Like, give me all the corner kicks in the world.
Now, get this excited.
Okay.
Saturday is supposed to rain. Do you know
Slash,
where?
slash snow.
Oh, I hope not. But do you know where else it also rains slash snows?
Where?
In Middlesbrough.
Ooh,
Do
so
you
you're
know
saying
who comes from Middlesbrough?
I heard a certain type of tree.
Gandalf.
Gandalf. So Gandalf likes the cold, rainy weather.
I'm saying I don't know what the phrase is about a dark rainy night in Stoke or dark rainy night
Middlesbrough.
somewhere in
Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough. Sure, we'll just say
Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough. I think he can do it on a noon, wintry, wet day in Salt Lake City.
And with that, let's get into predictions, my friend. Whew,
Prediction
I like
time.
nice prediction time. So home opener here at America First Field. You know, I've said it the past two games. I'm feeling optimistic, but like you just alluded to, this is going to be a tough battle against a very good LAFC team. So unfortunately, give me a 1-1 draw here at the Riot.
All right, 1-1 drop.
Well,
Okay,
we're going to scrap away with a point.
okay. I think the wet is going to cause a lot of mistakes on both teams, but I think that unfortunately RSL is going to fall victim to more of the mistakes, just because we're still trying to get used to each other. We're still trying to get this system going. So it's going to be a 2-1 loss for me.
Mm.
So it is what it is. But here's my
Uh,
hope: it's either going to be a Chicho or a Gandalf goal.
I like it. I like it. So 12 o'clock home opener, America First Field. We will be there. We will try to stop by at the tailgate at the North Lot. We'll
If
be
it's
there
too
for
cold, if it's too cold, no,
no.
don't expect us.
Well, if you guys have some warm beverages, maybe we'll come stop by some food.
Not fireballs. We're talking about hot chocolate, not fireballs.
Yeah, Keaton.
Yeah, Keaton.
No, but I'm excited. We're back playing at home field, so home field advantage is gonna be fun.
Let's get excited. This is the first game of the season, and I know it's gonna be wet. It's gonna be cold. Try to get out there. If you can't get out there, do what you can to support by watching. And if you can't watch because T-Mobile
We,
Tuesdays doesn't give you a MLS,
I was like, I was gonna say we got Dunny on the call on Saturday.
even the more reason to listen.
Yeah. So last thing before we send off, you guys catch us on Twitter and Instagram at the RSL Bros if you're not already following us, and listen to us at Spotify and Apple. And I guess if you're watching right here, hit the notification button right there.
It's true. It's true. Don't forget to tell a friend.
Tell a friend, be a friend.
Be a friend. Tell a friend.
Uh, awesome. We will catch you guys next week. Take care, guys.
Ciao.
Ciao.